Welcome learners, welcome to Mathematical Literacy, grade 11. I am Ms. Ninobert Vermeulen and today we will talk about an exam guide for paper 2. Now, how to approach each question. Let's look at measurements, maps and plans. Question 1. Now, remember, just before we go into the question, you need to remember to underline your keywords and look at your action verbs. If we look at the example, the floor of a classroom is shown below. Study it and answer the questions that follow. So, what is given? We can see this is a rectangle. The units is given in centimeters. So that will be centimeters as well. And we have a scale. So we've got the length as 210 centimeters, the width as 100 centimeters, and the scale is, let's do that rather, 1 is to 100. It's very important for us to write this down somewhere so then you don't need to refer to the sketch the whole time. Define the term perimeter in the given context. Now, sorry that my writing is all over the question. I'll erase some of it. Define the term perimeter in the given context. So now we need to remember the given context. What is the given context? The given context is the floor of a classroom. So now you need to say perimeter is the distance around the floor of the classroom, where you need to write your terminology, a definition for that, and refer to the floor of the classroom. Let's look at another question. Determine the perimeter of the classroom floor in centimeters. Use the following formula. Now remember, they will always give you a formula. In this question, its perimeter is 2 times length plus width. Now, a common error is to go and substitute a multiplication sign instead of addition. So what do we need to do here? The only thing you need to do is you need to substitute. That will be 2 times 210 plus 100. And then you punch it into your calculator and you get the answer. Just double check what you punch in so that you don't make a mistake. Identify the type of scale used to draw the classroom floor. Now we already said that is the scale, 1 is to something, and that will be a number scale. Now remember, scale can be in 3 separate things. It can be a number scale, a graphic scale, or bar scale, that's a synonym, and it can be in words. But here, it is a number scale. Explain the meaning of the scale 1 is to 100. So remember the action verb, explain. What do I need to explain? The meaning. Now remember, when it gets to maps and scale, your ratio is always map to reality. Meaning 1 unit on the map is equals to 100 units in reality. Please do not use units like millimeter, centimeter or meter. You are not supposed to use it because then you say it's only true for that unit. Rather use the words units. So that is just another tip. Study the following thermometers and answer the questions that follow. So now we can see there's 2 different thermometers. both showing degrees Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit. The one is red, so that will be the maximum temperature. You can see it's higher as well. And the other one is blue, so that can be the minimum, perhaps. It depends on the situation of the question. Write down the temperature reading in degrees Celsius of thermometer number 1. Remember, guys, now there is 2 different units for temperature given. You need to choose the correct one. So because it is degrees Celsius, we are going to work with the left side. So first of all, you're going to take the left side, and then you're going to read from the left, and then you'll see it's 30 degrees Celsius. So when you get a question like that, please make sure that you read from the correct thermometer and also from the correct unit. Identify the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit if the temperature in degrees Celsius is 35. Now, these are exactly the same thermometers, so you can use whichever one you choose. What you will be doing here is you will go to Fahrenheit. We want to know the Fahrenheit. Celsius is given, so we will find 35 degrees Celsius on the Celsius side and read it off the right-hand side. So you look for the left and you read from the right, and then you'll see it's approximately 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Please remember, if you can't read it properly, there will be a variance of 2 units to the left and 2 units to the right, so don't be too stressed about this. Write the temperature reading in degrees Fahrenheit if the thermometer 1, to thermometer 2 is as a ratio in simplest form. So now what they want to do is we need to go and write it as a ratio, degrees Fahrenheit, for thermometer number 1 and thermometer number 2. Remember, this is a ratio, so it needs to be in order. In degrees Fahrenheit, thermometer number 1 will be 90 degrees, and then thermometer number 2 is 20 degrees, and then you will need to simplify if it can be simplified. Remember, if you don't know how to simplify, you can say on your calculator 90 divided by 20, and then the reading given on your calculator will you just write as a ratio where the top is at your left and the bottom is on your right. So that is how you will approach a question like this. Let's look at the following question. The following is a street map of a neighborhood. So we can see there's quite a lot of streets. We have a key showing us what is where, and then it shows you the houses as well. Let's make some space to write. Sorry for that. Let's look at the question. How many houses are there in this neighborhood? So it's going to be the whole neighborhood. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What you will be doing is you will go along counting all of them. Just another tip, cross them out as you count so that you don't count one twice or miss one like we could have done there because it's all alone and in the bottom. So this is just something where you need to go and count. Which building is located next to the park? So now the first thing that you will do here is we will go and identify the park. We can see according to the key, the park is a tree. So there is the park. Located next to it is a building with a plus sign. The moment we see a plus sign, we know it's a hospital, but just double check. It might be a surprise. And here we can see it is indeed a hospital. So then you only write hospital. You don't need to write a whole paragraph, just the word is sufficient. Which business appears more than all the other businesses? So let's look at the different businesses. There is a florist, a cafe, a bakery, a gas station, a school, and a post office. So if we look at what is seen, we can see it's one bakery, then there's one florist, one filling station, one fire station, the police office, the library, and then we are left with 2 hamburgers, meaning that is going to be your restaurants. Let's look at maps and scale question 1s. Let's go to question 2. Question 2. Ms. Dudla, an educator from Ngoma, decided to use the map which shows the parts of KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga to let her learners understand the different types of maps. Study the map and answer the following questions. So if we look at the map, we can see KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga, Swaziland, Mozambique, and that is the major areas. And then we can also see there is a grid reference. So we know that somewhere in the question you will need to go and look for a grid reference. Write down the grid reference of Vryheid. Now, as far as I know, Vryheid is in KwaZulu-Natal. Yes, it is. There's Vryheid. And then you read off as a two-way table. It's C2. So there we go, C2. Then, is there a difference between these 2 scales given, and which one is more reliable? So now, what's happening is we are given a ratio scale or a number scale and a bar scale. Now, according to this number scale, 1 unit is to 2.5 million units in reality. The other one we need to measure to see what that ratio is, but we know that the difference is the one is a number scale, the other one is a bar scale, and then when it comes to being reliable, it is going to be your bar scale. Why? Because your bar scale is a picture, and that reduces and enlarges with the map. Remember, that's not a magic map, so if you reduce or enlarge, that number scale won't change, and then it won't be reliable anymore. Use the bar scale to calculate the actual distance from Ermelo to Mzini. So what you'll do, and I'm not going to give you the answer, I'm going to show you what to do. What you do is you take your bar scale and you measure the first segment. Say for instance, we measured 2 centimeters. Then we know on the map it's 2 centimeters, and in reality it is 25 kilometers. So every 2 centimeters on the map will be 25 kilometers in reality. Then from Ermelo to Mzani, we will measure that as well. So then you will measure on the map. You will divide by the scale. And then, sorry for that, let's go on here. You will times by the 25 kilometers. And that is how you will do that. Let's do a last one. On a particular month, Ms. Dudla used the same map to travel from Ngoma to Ermelo to go to Mr. Rama's wedding. Give the shortest route to arrive at the wedding on time. Now remember, most of the time your shortest route will be your national roads. So you would have said, okay, she wants to go from Ngoma, it's here, to Ermelo. So she will take the R66 onto the N12 and then straight to Ermelo. And that is quite a mouthful. We need to rest. Let's take a break. I'll see you just now.